Hello and welcome to session number 2 of Employee Security Awareness Training. Again, my name is Chris. I am the principal owner at Tech Support Farm. We are an IT and cybersecurity company based out of West Fargo, North Dakota. Tech Support Farm specializes in IT and cybersecurity for the agriculture industry, and we protect clients across Minnesota and the Dakotas. In this module, we will be discussing cybersecurity and best practices to keep yourself safe while on the internet. Please note, at the end of this session, there is one final 15-question quiz. Other than that, let's begin. Our training objectives today are to help you understand what phishing is and what phishing emails actually look like. By the end of today's session, you will understand the 6 common types of phishing, how they are used, and you will learn how spear phishing, smishing, and SEO phishing work. We are going to discuss the dangers of PDF attachments with examples, the impacts of phishing on organizations in terms of financial and reputational cost. Ultimately, you will learn about the steps that you can take to prevent phishing and identity theft. So what is phishing exactly? Phishing attacks are a type of social engineering where attackers send a fraudulent message designed to trick a person into revealing sensitive information to the attacker, or to insert malicious software onto the victim's computer, smart device, or any attached networks. Phishing is commonly associated with links inside of emails, meeting invites, text messages, and social media direct messages. These are designed to entice users to click on them. Phishing attacks look to get readers' attention and evoke a response quickly while ignoring security risks. Some of the attacks can be very difficult to distinguish from real emails as they use legitimate logos, names, social media links, and even digital signatures to make them look and feel more authentic. However, there are so-called tells which can indicate fraudulent content, such as misspellings, links to untrusted sites, unexpected natures of emails or text messages, and even date and time stamps of when the message was sent. In today's session, we will be looking at the 3 parts of an email construction in upcoming slides, which will help you identify possible phishing emails. What are the effects of phishing on organizations? Phishing attacks have increased over 50% in the past 4 years, and globally as a part of a response to increased remote working since COVID-19. One of the most visible impacts to organizations is the effect of ransomware, which has been plaguing businesses globally. Ransomware is typically downloaded through malicious links inside of emails where it can steal information and encrypt data until a ransom is paid in digital currency. Much of the time, however, data is stolen and sold back to the black market, whether the ransom is paid or not, and can severely affect businesses in terms of both money and reputational damage. The FBI estimates that ransom demands in 2023 were averaging about $5.3 million per incident, while there was over 236 million ransomware attacks last year alone. Part of the cost stems from investigations, legal actions, business interruption, lost revenue, staff trainings, audits, and new technology required to prevent future attacks. Often this is a result of just one click on a malware link inside of an email or text message. So what are the different types of phishing? There are in fact many types. Take a look at the list below to see the variations. Email phishing is garden variety phishing, where a generic email is sent indiscriminately to people on a mailing list or a company domain. Spear phishing is a much more targeted form of attack, where known details about a recipient are used to get their attention and encourage them to act. Whaling, similar to spear phishing, but focused is more on senior executives within an organization or company, often with the objective of authorizing funds transfers. Vishing, where voice or VoIP phone calls, messages, and the like are used to attack victims, such as voicemails with instructions to call your bank because of a security issue. Smishing, based on text messages or SMS phishing, and we discussed that in Module 1. SEO phishing, when criminals use search engine optimization in order to appear at the top of search results when inside of a search engine in an attempt to lead searchers to a spoofed website. Spear phishing is the most common type. Sometimes hackers will target employees very specifically to steal funds or information and to inject malware. Hackers may find information about the organization you work for, and they may find your role, your personal interests on social media, and those types of different sites. They can use this information to craft emails that use one or more pieces of information to a greater effect. For example, if you might be interested in golf, an email to you directly with free golf lessons might appeal to you, and you might be persuaded to click on the link and find out more. Another example, known as CEO fraud or executive spoofing, targets employees with a ruse of asking them to do something urgently, like approve a funds transfer or wiring funds from a bank account. The email looks to be like it's from the CEO or someone of authority within an organization, which lends false authority to the request. Of particular value to spear phishers are employees with financial or C-suite roles who are more likely to have access to this sensitive information or the ability to transfer funds from the organization much easier than most other employees. In all of these situations, email users need to stop and evaluate the probability and the telltale signs of fraud as previously shown. What is SEO phishing? SEO phishing is an attack where fake websites are created, often using AI with fake profiles, and then manipulated with key search terms to rank the fake site above authentic sites on the search results. Employees should be extra vigilant for lookalike websites in search results, such as Google, Safari, Bing. You can see in the graphic to the right that the website at the bottom is a fake site, directing users to a malicious login page, and this is an example of SEO phishing. We're going to take just a moment here and kind of look at this. In this scenario, the user has Googled Chase Bank login. Seems legitimate enough. And as you go in, you see that you have www.chase.com/business logins, so on and so forth. And every one of these you see chase.com. The problem is that this one here uses the same favicon or the little icon right here next to the web page. And then the domain, however, is https://bank.login.usa1.org. And that is indicative of a fake website and absolutely you should stay away from it. Identifying a phishing email. In this graphic, we see the examples of phishing emails that look like they are from Best Buy, the electronics retailer. As we examine the three parts of an email to learn more about phishing, if you are a recent customer of Best Buy, you might be alarmed at an unexpected charge and may be tempted to open the attachment inside of this email and find out more. This is what the attacker is actually hoping for. Let's take a look at what you can detect with the fraud in the next few slides. Please note, it is important to note that all emails, it does not matter what platform you're on, will always contain a header, a body, and a footer. The header will contain the information of where the email is coming from, and then any attachments. And then the body is obviously the bulk of the email, and the footer of the email contains information as to when it was sent, the company it's being sent from, and that sort of thing. Three things that you need to remember when looking at an email. Number one, stop. Look at who is sending this email. If it is an external email, is it unusual that they should be sending an email to your work email or even your personal account? Are there any attachments? Stop. Think. Don't open them if there are, and always be suspicious of any attachments inside of a suspicious looking email. Look at the time and date stamp. Was this email sent outside of business hours? This could be a sign of another fake email. And the reason for this, if you stop and think about it, a lot of these emails are coming from overseas, and they're probably working opposite hours of us, and therefore they may be coming at odd times. Then you must decide to carefully whether to dispose of the email or quarantine it, or whether it's safe to keep reading the email. Inside of this email, we'll see that this email is coming from michael@yourcompany.com, and yet they're still, they are saying that they're a Best Buy representative and that they have this receipt inside of a PDF. Unexpected emails with attachments are highly suspicious, and you need to stop and ask yourself, were you expecting this email? Again, this email was sent at 3:32 in the morning, and that is very suspicious and out of hours. I would highly recommend not opening this email. What are the risks of PDF attachments? Here's the deal. PDF attachments are now the most common form of introduction of malware to organizations, with 2/3 of attacks starting with just the download of a PDF attachment. Users may not be aware that malicious code, encrypted files, and malicious URLs are embedded inside of the PDF. Malware is often quietly introduced via this method, causing huge impacts on businesses in terms of both business interruption, theft of customer data, and investigations. Email users can be easily tricked, as most PDFs inside of the workplace are legitimate. All right, inside of this one, as we are looking at this, again, this is very important. You notice that this one here is talking about Department of Protection for Minors and their summons. Your court will most definitely not be emailing you summons to appear. Summons are hand delivered or they are mailed. Again, if it looks suspicious, if it feels suspicious, if you've never had it happen to you before, definitely steer clear of it, move on. Quarantine it, delete it, let your IT professionals know, and alert your coworkers. What to look for inside of an email? Always look for misspelt words and poor grammar. These are definitely features of suspect emails. Many times phishing emails are composed by foreign actors with poor English and written skills. Links are another very common method of introducing malware and ransomware onto a company network, and it is very easy to enclose a malicious link in the body of an email. It is extremely important not to click on these links, especially if you are not sure. Hover over the link with your mouse to see the link pop up in a box like the one shown in the graphic above. This will show you the actual address that the website is going to, which may be similar but not the same as a real website address. Again, inside of this description here, we can see that there's misspelt words. The word enclosed is missing the E at the end. And then when hovering over a link, you can see that this link here says that it is bestbuy.com/orders. This is what is known as the text that should be showing up as the display inside of a hyperlink. However, if you hover over it, you will see that it is bestbuy.com/redirect, except again, it is missing the E inside of the word best. Definitely a scam. Stay away from it. Again, alert your IT professionals, alert your coworkers, and your boss of this suspicious email. Last but not least, we need to discuss the email footer. What should we be looking out for inside of email footers? Again, we need to be looking out for the common misspelled words. These are the most common inside of email footers, and then suspicious links. Hackers will use and insert malicious links into footers such as form buttons and social media links, which are also used to redirect you to malicious sites. The footer adds to the deception of the overall email that makes the phishing emails look legitimate. And In this scenario, again, it is absolutely imperative to point out that this little Best Buy logo, which is completely legitimate, is a link to a malicious site. And again, you have a Facebook, Twitter, looks like an Instagram, a Pinterest, and a YouTube account. Again, this is all legitimate websites, social media icons. However, they are all pointing back to malicious websites. Every single thing, think about it as booby traps. This entire email is absolutely littered with booby traps. And if you go to click on one of these, you are not going to end up at Facebook or Twitter. I can guarantee you that. Again, best practices, please make sure to delete, quarantine these emails and turn it into your IT professional and report to your boss and alert your coworkers. Smishing. Attackers commonly use SMS or text messages to attack cell phones and other smart devices with SIM cards. These attacks are often referred to as smishing and can be just as effective as email phishing. And they are also used to inject malware and stealing information. Most common types of fraudulent text messages are again related to bank alerts, online subscriptions, deliveries to companies such as Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix. Many recipients are unwittingly deceived as they already have bank accounts and subscriptions with the above companies. How to handle malicious text messages. Phone users need to use similar judgment and ask the same questions in regards to suspicious emails. Was this text expected? Is there a false sense of urgency being created here to get me to do something without considering the risk? Are there spelling mistakes? Was this sent in or during office hours? And remember, even if the sender's phone number looks legitimate, it doesn't mean that it can be trusted. Hackers can easily clone or spoof telephone numbers to make the sender look authentic. And this is what is really important in this context. We have all received the UPS parcel. It is out for delivery, and you can track your parcel right here. The other one that would be very similar to this is the same UPS parcel, except that it is short on shipping, and they're looking for you to click on the link and to add $5 to your shipping. Either of these, that would be the creating a false sense of urgency and getting you to do something. Ignore, delete, and report. That is the protocol that needs to be followed in order to protect yourself from these and prevent your coworkers from falling prey to these as well. It is impossible to stop phishing and its effects, but there are steps that you can take to reduce your risk. Avoid public Wi-Fi connections when using your laptop or cell phone, as hackers can intercept your communications on that network. Always use and set a second form of authentication for your online accounts and apps if and when available. Frequently, this means setting a strong password and using a one-time password in a security app. Ensure that your data is backed up to an off-network location, such as a cloud. Directly attached drives and local area networks are always susceptible to malware and infections. Avoid using work email for personal reasons, such as non-work related online subscriptions and forms. Hackers can harvest your work email and passwords to attack your device and other company systems. Set strong passwords for all of your accounts and change them regularly. Use an approved password manager and a generator as appropriate. Update your browser when prompted in the notification windows. Browser vulnerabilities are commonly used to attack as an attack vector on your device. Preventing identity theft. Identity theft is a top risk when hackers steal your information through phishing. Here are some things you can do to prevent this serious threat. Always restrict access to your credit reports. Credit reporting agencies such as Equifax have tools which will allow you to place a security freeze and a fraud alert on your credit report. The former restricts access to your credit report, while the latter sends out a notification when someone tries to open a credit in your name. Turn on multi-factor authentication for all of your online accounts. Most online account providers offer an option to enable 2FA or two-factor authentication. The other one is called MFA, which is multi-factor authentication. Both of them are secure forms of secondary security. Ensure that this feature is enabled and use strong passwords which are not reused across platforms and other accounts. Identity theft protection services. There are several services available, such as Aurora and Identity Force, which are subscription-based and can alert for social security number abuses, social media account monitoring, and 3 credit bureau monitoring and identity theft restoration services. In our risk recap today, PDF attachments are now the #1 method for introducing malware onto machines. Users can be tricked into opening these attachments as they often have everyday sounding names such as invoice, account statement, or summons. Always check the spelling, tone, and urgency, as these are red flags. Many malicious emails are only detectable through their odd tone or being out of context for the norm. There are often telltale signs such as subtle spelling mistakes, unfamiliar sender addresses, and missing to or subject fields. Security precautions. Ensure that all of your online accounts use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication where available. Please avoid public Wi-Fi connectivity and use credit reporting agencies for alerts and service on your accounts. Thank you for sticking around until the end of session 2 in this module. I hope you have learned a lot about cybersecurity and protecting yourself online. Below, you will find the remaining 15-question quiz. Please complete this quiz and hit submit. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you learned a lot. Have yourself a great day.